In this video, we learned to crochet a colorful octopus. Start knitting from the head. Then knit round and round. Weave a closure at the bottom. Then the 8 legs are knitted separately. Finally, sew the legs to the body. This is our step. First, we take out the pink yarn. Then we wind the wire first. Start with a magic ring. Loosen the loop on your middle finger a little. Then pass the crochet hook through the loop. Then wrap the yarn again to make a chain stitch. Make a chain stitch. Now we're going to start crocheting the first stitch of the first round. Round 1. Make 8 single crochets SC. Single crochet SC are crocheted like this. We start by passing the crochet hook through the loop. Wrap the yarn again with the crochet hook and pass it through 2 loops at once. When you are done hooking, take out the stitch marker. Pin a marker button to the stitch. 1 V shape is 1 stitch. Then crochet the second single crochet SC. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook, winding the yarn. Pull tight. Continue to crochet the 6th one. After finishing 8 single crochets SC. Then we pull this yarn tail like this, then pull a bit harder. Tighten the middle loop until it's not visible. Now we take the last stitch on the crochet hook and the first stitch where we marked with a marker. We need to join these 2 stitches together. For this, we'll use a technique called slip stitch S's. First, remove the stitch marker, then we take the crochet hook. Insert the crochet hook like this into the first loop. Like this. Wrap the yarn from behind and pull through. Pull through to the very last loop. This makes a slip stitch S's. With this, we've completed the first round. Next, we begin crocheting the second round. First, make a chain stitch. Like this. Round 2, we are going to make 8 increased single crochet ink SC stitches. Increased single crochet ink SC means knit 2 single crochets SC on 1 stitch. For example, we crochet in the single crochet SC. The first stitch is the one we just made a slip stitch S's into. It is also the stitch where we place the marker. We insert the hook, then pull the yarn through like this. Then wrap and pull through. This is our first single crochet SC. Let's mark the stitch marker. Then we crochet into the same place again. Make another single crochet SC. Like this, we have made 2 single crochets SC in one stitch. Next, we make the second increase stitch. Insert into the second stitch, then make 1 and 2 single crochets SC. Like this, the second increase stitch is completed. 2 single crochets SC have appeared in one stitch. Keep repeating for 6. Increase stitching. Like this, 8 increased stitches ink are completed. Counting the 8 increased stitches ink, there are a total of 16 stitches. Now, we need to connect the last stitch with the first stitch using a slip stitch S's. Poke through the first stitch, wrap the yarn from behind like this, pull through. And then pull through the last loop. This completes the slip stitch S's. This completes the second round. Then, make a change stitch to stand up. Round 3, chain single crochet SC followed by an increased stitch ink, repeated 8 times. First, insert into the first stitch, where we just placed the marker, and make 1 single crochet SC. Then, place a marker on this first stitch marker. Next, for the second stitch, we make an increased stitching, which involves making 2 single crochets SC in the same stitch. Now we have completed 1 increase stitching, an increased stitching, 1 single crochet SC, and another increased stitching make up 1 set. Continuing to complete the remaining part. Now, we are making the 8th set, a single crochet SC, and increase stitching. Now, we have come to the last stitch of the 3rd round, which is an increase stitch. An increase stitching is made by crocheting 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Now, we crochet the first single crochet SC. Attention here for the second single crochet SC. We were supposed to crochet like this, but let us not do that yet. Let us go back and change yarn. We are changing to the next color of yarn. I am choosing yellow here. Take out a length of yarn. Hold it in your hand, here. And then like this. Turns out the last stitch should have been in pink yarn. Now switch to the yellow yarn to complete the move. Let us slip stitch S's. After the slip stitch S's, make a change stitch. Before starting the 4th round, we can cut off the pink yarn. Round 4. Start with 3 single crochet SC. After the first single crochet SC, place a stitch marker. Continue with 2 single crochets SC. After completing 3 single crochets SC, make an increase stitching. Like this, we have completed 1 set. A set of 3 single crochets SC followed by an increase stitching. Continuing to complete the remaining part. Now, let us remove the stitch marker. Join the beginning and end with a slip stitch S's. Then make a chain stitch to stand up. Round 5 consists of a combination of 5 single crochets SC followed by an increased stitching, repeated 5 times. Let us crochet 5 single crochets SC first. Remember to place a stitch marker after the first one. After completing 5 single crochet SC, the next stitch is an increase stitching. Increase stitch means 2 single crochet SC in the same stitch. And that constitutes an increase stitching. Continue with 4 sets of repetitions. After completing the last crochet of the increasing, we need to change yarn again. So, at this last part of the increase, stitching, do not pull through yet. Let's backtrack to the previous step. This step needs to be done with the next color of yarn. Place it here, and then switch yarn like this. After completing the last stitch of this round, now we need to connect the last stitch to the first stitch. Like this. Make a chain stitch. Let us cut the yellow yarn. Round 6 consists of 6 single crochets SC and 1 increased stitching repeated. But to make its shape look better, we are modified it to start with 3 single crochets SC. After completing 1 single crochet SC, place a stitch marker. Continue with 2 single crochet SC. After completing 3 single crochets SC, make an increase stitching. Now, we are essentially completed half a set. Next, we'll start completing a full set, a combination of 6 single crochets SC followed by an increase stitching. First, we crochet 6 single crochets SC. And after completing 6, make an increase stitching. Continue with 4 repetitions. Next, complete the final half set. We finish crocheting 3 single crochets SC. Alright, then we are completed this row. Now, join the beginning and end. Round 7, 40 single crochets SC. Meaning no need to make increasing or decrease stitches deck. We crochet 40 single crochets SC directly. Start with the first stitch and place a stitch marker. Continue knitting the rest of the way through. When we reach 40 stitches, pay attention. Don't knot hook like that. We need to change yarn. Let us bring out the next color of yarn. Light blue. We take out the yarn just like before. We were originally going to wrap it around like this to complete the last stitch, but we need to change yarn. So we need to bring out the new color of yarn. Leave a short tail of yarn, then place it here and pinch it. Wrap it around like this, and then join the beginning and the end with a slip stitch S's. Remove the stitch marker and cut the green yarn we used in the previous row. After changing to the blue yarn, let's prepare for the next row by making a change. Round A, 40 single crochets SC. Let's all crochet 40 single crochets SC together. Remember to place a stitch marker after the first stitch. After completing 40 stitches, we continue with joining the beginning and the end with a slip stitch S's. Then, in the next row, we still use the blue yarn. Round 9, 40 single crochets SC. Continuing to hook 40 single crochets SC. Remember to place a marker after completing the first single crochet SC. The last stitch of this round, the 40th stitch. Since we are going to change yarn in the next row, we only crochet half of the 40th stitch to this point. But we need to go back, just up to here. Then we take out the next color of yarn. Hold it like this, pinch a short end of the yarn here. Then, instead of completing the step where we were going to wrap the yarn through the loop, we directly use this new piece of yarn. Let me show you again. Hold the blue yarn here, and then wrap and pull through with it. Then we join the beginning and the end with the slip stitch S's. Remove the stitch marker. Pull through with the darker blue yarn. We're switching to. And then make another chain stitch. Now we can cut off the light blue yarn. Round 10, 40 single crochets SC. We are going to crochet 2 rows in this blue color. Crochet 40 single crochets for 2 rows. Remember to mark the first single crochet SC with a marker. After completing the 40th stitch, which is the last stitch of this round, we join the beginning and the end by inserting the hook into the first stitch, then making a slip stitch S's. After the slip stitch S's, make a chain stitch. Round 11, 40 single crochets SC. So we start crocheting directly. Place a stitch marker after completing the first stitch. Now, as we are about to crochet the last, the 40th stitch, and we are going to change yarn again, stop halfway through the stitch, and don't pull through with the yarn anymore, as we need to switch to the next color. Take out a length of yarn, and hold this piece of yarn like this. Then wrap and complete the final step of the 40th single crochet SC, and then we pull through to make a slip stitch S's. Followed by a chain stitch. Round 12, which starts with 3 single crochets. After completing the first single crochet SC, place a marker. Continue with 2 single crochet SC. Here, cut off the previous color of yarn. Next, this stitch is going to be a single crochet SC. For the single crochet, first press the yarn through this stitch, then do not pull the yarn through like this just yet. Insert the hook into the next stitch, then press and pull the yarn through. After there are 3 loops on the hook, wrap the yarn once more and pull through all 3 loops. This completes a single crochet SC. The next step is to crochet 6 single crochets SC and 1 decrease stitch deck. Demonstrate the decrease stitch deck again. Insert into the next stitch, press and pull the yarn through. Then do not wrap and pull through the loop just yet. Move to the next stitch, press and pull the yarn through. And when there are 3 loops on the hook, wrap the yarn and pull through all 3 loops in one go. This is a decrease stitch deck. Continue with 3 repetitions of 6 single crochet SC and 1 decrease stitch deck. After finishing the 3 single crochets, join the beginning and the end together. Remove the stitch marker. Do a slip stitch S's like this. Then make a chain stitch. Round 13, which consists of 5 single crochets SC followed by a decreased stitch deck. Repeating this combination 5 times. First, we crochet 5 single crochets SC. Placing a marker after completing the first one. After crocheting 5 single crochets SC, make a decreased stitch deck. That completes the decreased stitch deck. Next, continue with 5 more single crochets SC and another decrease stitch deck. We are preparing to change the yarn again. Originally, the last step of the decrease stitch deck would be to wrap the yarn and pull through 3 loops to complete the decrease stitch deck, but we need to change yarn. So this wrapping step will be done with the new yarn. Change to the last color, which is purple yarn. We take out a small piece of yarn. And like the previous rows, we place it here and pinch it. Then, instead of wrapping with the blue yarn we were using, we now switch directly to the purple yarn for the wrapping step of the decrease stitch deck. We wrap with the purple yarn, then pull through all 3 loops at once, completing the last decrease stitch deck of this row with the purple yarn. Then remove the stitch marker. Poke the hook into the first stitch and pull through with the purple yarn for a slip stitch S's. If anyone feels any part is a bit loose, you can tug at the yarn ends inside to tighten them. Next, Make a chain stitch to secure it like this. You can then cut off the previous color. The yarn ends inside can be pulled and tied together. We could tie a few knots here. It is optional, but knotting will make it more secure. Tie knots with the adjacent yarn ends like this. Then, you can temporarily put down the crochet hook. Let's tie the knots inside first. Now let's turn it back right side out. To this point, insert the crochet hook. Round 14, which consists of 30 single crochets SC. We start crocheting, beginning with the first stitch, and then place a stitch marker. This round is entirely done. Then join the beginning and end together. Remove the stitch marker, make a slip stitch S's. And remember to make a chain stitch afterwards. Round 15 consists of 3 single crochets SC followed by a decreased stitch deck. Repeat this sequence 6 times. Next are 3 single crochets. After crocheting 1, remember to place a stitch marker. Make a decreased stitch. Do you remember how to make a decreased stitch deck? Insert the hook into the next stitch, pull the yarn through. Then insert into the next stitch again, pull the yarn through. Now, there are 3 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn and pull through all 3 loops in one motion. This way, the 2 stitches behind are combined together. Keep repeating. 3 single crochet SC and 1 decrease stitch. The last single crochet SC. After completing the last stitch, join the beginning and the end with a slip stitch S's. Then continue with a chain stitch. Round 16 consists of 1 single crochet SC followed by a decreased stitch deck. Repeating this combination 8 times. We start with a single crochet SC. Place a marker after the first single crochet SC. Then make a decrease, stitch deck. Continue to repeat the hook the rest of the way through. After completing this row, join the beginning and the end with a slip stitch S's. Round 17. We are going to crochet 8 decreased stitches deck. We first make a chain stitch, then crochet all decreased stitches deck. Start by inserting the hook into the first stitch, pulling through a loop. Then into the second stitch, pulling through another loop. And now there are 3 loops on the hook. Wrap the yarn once and pull through all 3 loops. Place a marker, and that's our first decrease stitch deck. Keep repeating through the rest of it. Finally, we have finished crocheting. Next, remove the marker and slip stitch S's into the first stitch. Then pull the yarn on the hook to lengthen it. Everyone, be careful not to cut the wrong part. Our loop is like this. Then we cut it off. After cutting, we can stuff the cotton now. Stuff the cotton in from here. Now take out our eye accessories. This accessory of ours is, insert this one from the outside, and then this one from the inside, like this. They snap together like this. Once inserted like this, it will secure. Now press firmly like this to secure. So let's try it now. You can refer to here for the eyes. We snap in between these 2 rows of blue insert at this position. First, everyone needs to find this circular head of ours. Find the position of the slip stitch S's. This row has a slightly different pattern. We treat it as the back. So, we flip it to the right side, like this. Then, we poke the eyes, poke on the blue side. And then this one, insert it like this, with our hand. Then, we press down with this hand here, find its position. Like this. Press down firmly, and then it's secured. So one eye is completed. Then, let's look at this one. Everyone just snaps the eyes on like this. Next, we stuff the cotton inside. After stuffing the cotton, we need to finish off the bottom. We take out the sewing needle and thread the yarn through. Okay, it threaded through. Then look, we made a slip stitch S's here. Here is our second stitch. We need to pick up the front loop of the second stitch. Look, this is the front loop. This is the back loop. Insert the hook into the front loop we just picked up. Yarn over and pull through the front loop of the second stitch. Now, let's see the next stitch. The stitch after skipping one, pick up its front loop again. Pull the yarn through. Now, look at the next stitch, skip it. At the next stitch, pick up the front loop and pull through. We are gone through 3 stitches now. Then, skip 1 stitch again. Pick up the front loop of this stitch. Pull it through. Tighten. Insert the hook into the center. Wrap the yarn around a few times at the base. Don't poke randomly. Follow the grain of the stitches. For example, starting from this hole, there's a line like this. We'll follow it. Then, go back and forth, left and right, for a few stitches. Remember not to pull too tight at once, otherwise, it will indent here. That's it for now. Our main body is done. Next, take out the scissors. Cut it off here. If you feel the head isn't round enough, we can twist it a bit like this. Like this. Let's start with 1 color of yarn first. We only have 7 colors of yarn, and we need to make 8 legs. The color of 1 foot repeats. So, pick your favorite color and use that color for the leg. Next, let's talk about how to crochet the octopus's legs. First, make a magic ring. Hold the yarn in your hand. Then, hold the intersection with your thumb. Insert the hook into this loop. Now, make a magic ring first, yarn over then, make a slip stitch S's. Round 1. Make 6 single crochet SC. After the first single crochet SC, place a stitch marker. Keep repeating to complete the rest. After the 6 single crochet SC are done, pull the thread tightly. Then, at the position of the first stitch marker, slip stitch S's. After finishing the slip stitch, make a chain stitch. Round 2. Crochet 6 increase stitches ink. After finishing the first stitch, place a stitch marker. Then continue making the increased stitches. In this way, we have completed 6 increased stitches in one round. Then remove the stitch marker, make a slip stitch S's, and then make a chain stitch. Round 3. Make 12 single crochet SC. Make a single crochet in the first stitch, then place a stitch marker. Then continue making the single crochet SC. After completing 12 single crochets SC, remove the stitch marker and make a slip stitch S's, then make a chain stitch. Round 4. Make 6 decreased stitches deck, which means inserting the hook into the first stitch and pulling up a loop. Then inserting the hook into the next stitch and pulling up a loop. So there are 3 loops on the hook, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. This completes a decreased stitch deck. Place a stitch marker. Then continue making the decreased stitch deck. After completing 6 decreased stitches deck, remove the stitch marker, make a slip stitch S's, and then another chain stitch. Round 5. Crochet 6 single crochets SC. When the first stitch is done, place a stitch marker. Then continue making the single crochets SC. After completing 6 single crochets, remove the stitch marker. Make a slip stitch S's, then make a chain stitch. Round 6. Crochet 6 single crochets SC. After completing 1, place a stitch marker. Then continue making the single crochets SC. And then complete the 6 single crochets SC, make a slip stitch S's. After the slip stitch S's, it's done. Then pull the loop longer, and one octopus leg is done. The remaining 7 will be made using the same method. Next, let me introduce how to sew the legs onto the body. I arrange them in this order. You can choose the order you like. So I'll start by demonstrating with this pink leg. First, we thread it into the sewing needle. Then we do it like this. In this first stitch, insert the needle. This is equivalent to pulling the leg in. Distinguish between the front and back. Our eyes are located at the eyes, at the bottom. Bigger piece is the color of our bottom. Now, we need to sew around the second to last and last rows. So we go from here to here, like this. This is the second to last row. This is where we need to sew. That's how I'll demonstrate for everyone. Go through, and then it looks like this. Then, we adjust it like this. Then, we go through the corresponding stitch. Go through. Come back through the back. Then, move one step to the right, poke in, come back. On this side of the main body, you don't need to strictly follow our tutorial. Just sew until you're satisfied with the position. After poking in here, come out from the side. Then poke in on the other side of the foot. Then, go through the main body again. Like this. Actually, that's all, just like this. Then, let's leave the string here. Sew all the legs on like this. Now, the final step. Let's learn how to hide the loose ends of the thread. After we finish weaving, take the thread from this corner of the same color and go through. Then, we go back and forth twice, just stitch randomly. This, when we are sewing each leg, just stitch it in along the way. After stitching to here, just cut off the thread from here. And it's done. Like me, all stitched in already, cut off the threads. Alright then, let's finish the mouth. Cut off the loose ends. If there are extra threads, poke them in. Completed. Take out the black thread and sew up the mouth. Firstly, I'll start by describing how to sew up mouth. Take out a relatively thin black thread. Then, we enter the needle from the side. Find the 3 stitches in the middle here. Come out from the right side. Come out. Then, directly find the one on the left here. We come out from the middle below. Alright, don't completely tighten the thread, leave a small arc. Next, the needle goes around this small arc of the mouth. Then, from where it just came out, go back in, go back. We can first thread it to a closer spot, then adjust the arc of the mouth yourself. Alright then, let's stitch back and forth a few times. Here, let's hide the thread, stitch back and forth. Enter the needle from the same stitch, skip a bit of cotton. Then, from this spot, go in, pick a bit of cotton. Then come out around here. Where we just entered the needle, come out from the same stitch. Then here, make a knot. Then cut the thread a bit, but not too short. Then poke this loose end indirectly. Finally, you can adjust the arc again. It's completed. If you like the feet to be closer to the body, you can use some glue on the foot, here. This way, it'll be closer to the body. Let's explain a bit more. These two octopuses look quite different in size. But actually, I did it using the same method. However, the lower thread is left relatively loose. The upper thread is pulled tighter. Also, there are differences in the feet. The foot of this one is started with a magic ring of 8 stitches, while the other one is started with a magic ring of 6 stitches. The knitting technique is the same. The colorful octopus is now completed through crocheting.